Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in this beautiful world. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you for taking the time to go through this update. We've chosen for a video format this time. I hope you find it useful. And I've got some comments that the last updates were a bit long to go through. Apologies for that. There's a lot of stuff that happens. So this is really a video update to give you the latest for this month. So for July 2018, what's happened so far in this particular month. Now, the first update that we have is that probably you'll see the concept, the wording of how we discuss our ICO changing slightly. Feedback that we have had is that in particular in Asia, in particular, so like the larger companies that want to partake in our ICO are very much interested in the underlying technology. What is the architecture? What is the infrastructure? What is the longer term kind of development of your solution going to be? Now, we have not changed any of our kind of business proposition. It is still about consumers that can take their loyalty points onto the blockchain, exchange them between different loyalty programs, get engaged better through marketing solutions that get rewarded, not just for their purchases, but also for any support that they give to their favorite brands. So none of that has changed yet. We talk a little bit more about the underlying infrastructure behind that, and more about that later. Besides that, we are past our soft cap, as you already know. We are ramping up, continue to ramp up our development, which is fantastic. We continue to build on those components that we already have. In a minute, I'll give you a bit of a sneak peek on that. And we're in the background building our partnerships, with ICO and blockchain technology businesses, with implementation partners, and of course with potential customers that want to work with us. And that's of course very exciting. A lot of people already held their hand up, hey, we're interested to work with you. And now we're going to kind of like solidify some of those agreements and starting some of that work, which is super exciting. So from a development perspective, as you can see on this particular slide, we already have a lot of the components in place. We have the back-end tooling, how to set up a program. We have the exchange mechanism that we're doing a lot of work on. That's a very fascinating sort of topic to get right. Very complex, but very interesting to get that right. That working on the blockchain is super interesting. We're working, of course, on the connection between MobileBridge and what is now what we now refer to as the Momentum Protocol, kind of like our blockchain core, and that interaction between the two systems, super important for us. So that development is definitely happening. I'm very pleased to start to give you some screenshots of that development, and as that develops more, of course, we'll share more information with you as well. Now, some of you may have noticed on our website that our content has changed slightly. What you'll find on our website now is that we have started to talk about things such as protocol and infrastructure. We talk about the global standard for loyalty marketing. Now, where has that come from and why are we doing this? It's certainly not a change of business proposition or the business model or momentum in itself, certainly not. But when we were telling our story, especially in Asia, and especially with those larger kind of like ICO investors, those investment funds, they kind of like want to hear more and want to see more about our underlying infrastructure, about our architecture. They want to see more about, okay, what is the long-term game here? So what we have done is kind of like highlighted that infrastructure and the build-up of our solution a little bit more. So you see the blockchain element, as per normal. On top of that, we are now referring to something called the Momentum Protocol. The Momentum Protocol is the core of our solution, allows loyalty programs to be transferred to the blockchain and allows companies to exchange tokens or consumers to exchange tokens from one loyalty program to the next. That's our core kind of like blockchain capability. On top of that, through APIs, you have marketing solutions that can connect to this protocol layer. Now, of course, the first marketing solution that is going to connect to this protocol layer is the MobileBridge platform. But then also later on, we will allow other companies such as Salesforce, Marketo, Adobe, other marketing solutions to actually connect to this Momentum protocol to also make use of that Momentum platform. Now, on top of that, of course, the customer solutions that will be built, that be in mobile apps, websites, any other customer touch points in which consumer engagement takes place. And next to that, you have the Momentum wallet, which obviously gives visibility to consumer what kind of like points they have in which program, and allows them to exchange those tokens. So that's just a slight update in the proposition, just a different way of showing it, a different way to talk about it, and hopefully a bit more clear and a bit more relevant to those kind of like Asian partners and to those large investment funds that are looking for that longer term story for us. But that's obviously not everything that's happening in our network, in our ecosystem. I mean, it continues to be really, really busy, and the whole team is working very, very hard. You may have seen the website being updated, not only with the proposition, but also with a new news section. So more news on the website on a regular basis, so to keep everybody up to date. Press coverage continues to be great, both in Europe as well as in Asia. And of course, the events, we continue to go out to plenty of events, not just for fun, predominantly to build relationships, to get connections, build partnerships, find potential token buyers and project participants, globally. And that is a lot of time spent in conversations, morning, noon, and night, typically at those events, with great results. From the Blockchain Expo here in Amsterdam, 13,000 people, a lot of inbound. Hey, we've heard from you. Tell me a bit more about it. And picking up project participants from there to Japan, where we were to Tokyo with the Asia Digital Asset and Blockchain Congress, where we actually found very good partnerships with a few people, great relationships there, also in the local investment and ICO community, as well as broader Asia region. And Korea, where we continue to get great traction, both at the Blockchain Summit, where we got an award, which is great, as well as the Blockchain Week, which were pretty much everywhere. Everyone from the blockchain community in Asia was around. So a lot of good conversations and very interesting partnerships and potential project participants there. As I mentioned already, partnerships is very important for us. Building our ecosystem going forward, super crucial for not just now, but going forward, making sure they have the right partnerships with, technology and blockchain businesses that complement our solution or that can benefit from a connection to our solution. We have in that sort of like area, partnerships signed with Switch.io, which we already announced last month. We this month signed an agreement with a company called Linfinity. They are a blockchain-based supply chain solution based in Singapore. They are looking to optimize their solution, rewarding people with keeping their supply chain data and supply chain processes up to date. They're looking to use Momentum in that context. Very interesting to work with these guys. We signed an agreement last week, a very important agreement with the governor of Gyeongbuk province. This is in Korea. Gyeongbuk province, the second largest province in Korea. And not just that, it is the province where they have pretty much a technology basis in Korea, where companies such as Samsung have originated from. So that relationship is kind of a joint venture together with the governor of Gyeongbuk province. for us to contribute to the blockchain ecosystem and for us to be exposed to all of these tech businesses in that region to us. So that's fantastic opportunity for us. As part of that as well, we are a founder member. We've been asked to be a founder member of the local Blockchain AI Technology Center, which supports, again, the local community with blockchain initiatives being developed there. Now, as part of that relationship, already a great kind of like follow-up conversation as part of that ecosystem is a very famous blockchain or Bitcoin personality, a gentleman called Brock Pierce, director at the Bitcoin Foundation, an early board member of EOS, a significant investor in blockchain initiatives through a number of various funds. So a great guy to know and a great guy to kind of like talk to and discuss blockchain topics and broader world matters and see how we can explore that relationship. So overall, a lot of activity going on in our ecosystem, and as I mentioned earlier, that's really where we want to build at this moment in time. And I think that's about it. Dear community, people within our Telegram channels, wherever you are, in our English channel, in our Chinese channel, in our Korean channel, it is a real privilege to have you there. We are very, very grateful to have you there. Please keep the community going, keep the conversation going. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to any of us. Keep that going. Of course, don't hesitate to spread the news to any connections, any friends, family, people that are interested in blockchain and loyalty and marketing. Keep spreading the news. We would be, very grateful. And of course, the bigger we can make this community, the better it is for us, all. So hopefully, we'll see you again soon. We'll see you in our Telegram community. We'll see you at any events globally in any way, shape or form. Please keep the conversation going. It's great to have you with us. And of course, if you haven't already, do register your interest onto the whitelist. And yeah, hopefully, we can welcome you as a participant in our public sale later on this year. Thank you very much for all your support. It's an absolute pleasure to be working with you. Speak soon. Take care.